that's why. Hi everyone, how are y'all? Hi Anukriti, hi Piyush, hi, who are my other people over here? Hi Arwan, hi Naman Gupta, hi Muskan. Alright, now before we start, I always ask this question, can I be seen, can I be heard? If you can see me and hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Hi Sonam. Hi, Muskan says, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon. And Muskan says, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hi, Piyush. Hi, Priyanka Kumari. Hi, Sonam, I already said hi. Do not listen to me. Before I actually go on to start what we are here to do today, I have some very, very, very exciting news for you. What is this exciting news? Well, I'm sure you've already checked out our little video on YouTube, which says the same thing, that BYJU'S Mini Learning program is now free. Isn't that great? So this is a fabulous, fabulous place to learn. To understand how to enroll, we've got a link for you in the description box. Please go ahead and click it, and you will be able to avail all the facilities. Now, the good news over here is that this program is actually worth rupees 399, but if you use this magical code, which is you put in the words YT free, you will be able to avail all of this for absolutely free now. Isn't that good news? In fact, you will be very excited to know that this program of ours is doing very, very well. We've had 1,500 people who've actually joined us in the last 4 days. So I want to tell you that this is very, very good news. But time is short. This is only a limited time offer, and we have a lot of people joining in. So my suggestion to you is, please don't wait. Just go and click on that link right now, type in the code, and actually get a chance to view all these sessions, right? Now, what exactly is the advantage of subscribing for this? Let me tell you, there are a lot of lovely things that we're going to be doing over here. First of all, over here with us, you are going to have the two-teacher advantage, right? Apart from this, you will have one-on-one guidance from a personal mentor. Then you're going to have a lot of live interactive classes, which I know that all of you love, right? And then you're going to have a lot of after-class assignments, you're going to have assessments, and the best part of all this, I'm going to highlight this in yellow, is that you can schedule these classes as per your convenience. So say you're going to school and you want to attend it after school, well, you can do it at any point in time that you want. So this is very, very exciting, and I'm telling you, it's filling up really, really fast. So just go and click on the link. All right, we'd be very happy to see all of you over there. Okay, now, hi Disha. Disha says, hi ma'am, how are you? Do you remember me? Of course I remember you. Hi Nikita. All right. Yes, Muskan says, very happy that SST sessions are finally starting. So am I, Muskan. Really. No, see, the thing is, we know that you've been asking for it for a while, and it's been on the cards, but we had to plan it right? So this is what you've asked for it, and now we are here for you. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, today in our channel 9 to 10, BYJU'S 9 to 10, we are going to be discussing the syllabus, and we're going to be talking about Class 10 social science exams. So why are we going to be doing this at this year, at the beginning of the year, is that we've got a really exciting year planned for you. All of you all have been asking us for a lot of sessions, so we have planned all those for you, right? But before we go ahead and actually start our sessions, I think that it is very important that we know what lies ahead of us in the year, right? So we need to know what is the syllabus as prescribed by the CBSE. Only once we know what our syllabus is, then we can decide how to structure the year, how to plan for it, right? So are you all ready? Because I definitely am. Uma says, hi Uma. Purna says, hi Purna. Pratima says, you are beautiful ma'am, thank you. Mona Lisa says, ma'am, SST class 9. Well, Mona Lisa, you please stay tuned to our channel, and we will be putting all our updates over here, and you can, you'll know exactly what is coming up where, right? So without any further ado, let's start with today's session. Revan says, hello ma'am, wonderful to see you teaching and taking the classes for free. Like I said, there are a lot of stuff that's happening for you. Take advantage of what we are doing for you over here. We are always there with you. So like I said in the beginning, go ahead and click on the link. Join the BYJU'S Mini Learning program and attend all our sessions that we do over here for you too. We are always with you. Okay, now let us understand, before we start, what our syllabus contains. Let us understand what are the instructions that are given to us by the CBSE this year. Right? Anukriti says, ma'am, please take sessions on 6 to 8 channel as well. Please, Anukriti, you please keep following us, and we'll keep telling you what the plan is. We will keep you updated, so definitely stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff planned for you all. Right? Okay, so this year, what has CBSE told us? This year, CBSE has said that we're going to do a slightly different format that we had last year. Now, last year, we know, as a lot of my students attended our last year's sessions also, our exams were divided into 2 terms, which means we had term 1 and term 2. Now, this year, there is no term 1, no term 2 at all. In fact, we have only one annual examination on the entire syllabus at the end of the year. So this is quite a different pattern. How do you all feel about this? What do you think? Do you think that this is a good thing to have one exam and just be done with it instead of studying 2 or 3 times? Don't you think that? What do you think? Harshdeep says, ma'am, SST sessions will also be for premium users. Also, please tell. SST sessions are for everyone on the YouTube channel and for premium users. A lot of you, please go on to, I would say this is a very good thing at the beginning of this year, is actually go ahead and download the BYJU'S app, attend the social science classes that we have over there for you. We've got some excellent interactive videos for you, which will actually give you the beautiful conceptual clarity in the way that we've explained the videos. So there will be a lot of in-depth study and concept clarity that you will get over there. And apart from that, we're over here to giving you a lot of information this year for your classes. Right? Okay, now, Reman says, ma'am, I guess it's difficult in accordance with the portion, but yes, it's a good choice by CBSE. Okay, so you like the choice. See, the point over here is, Priyanka says, no, it's not good. Curious fellow says, students will face difficulty. Okay, I want to tell you one thing. I see a lot of people saying that's injustice, it's not fair, there's no corona offer. Let me tell you, my dear friends, that when corona came in, it was a very different sort of situation, right? So while the studies were a little bit easier for a lot of our seniors, yet at the same time, things were very, very difficult in other ways. So the fact of life is that we have to work hard no matter what we do, right? So the way I look at it is, it doesn't really matter whether you have term 1, term 2, or you have one exam at the end, because the fact of the matter is that we have to study and work hard anyway. And if you study, if you plan well, if you work hard, it really doesn't matter what sort of exams you have, because you are going to ace your exams anyway, and that is what we are here for, right? To support you all the way. Okay. Anshul Snehal says, no reduction of syllabus. Ramita says it's good that syllabus is reduced. While you all are saying absolutely opposite things, I'm going to clarify all these doubts now when we talk about it. So let's move ahead. Type of exam is one annual exam. What is the marking system for this exam? Well, the theoretical exam that you will have at the end of the year is going to be for 80 marks, okay? one paper that covers all your 4 subjects of history, geography, civics as well as economics for 80 marks, and 20 marks, okay, the balance 20 marks are actually going to be based on internal examination, which means that these are the marks that you are going to get when you are in school through various ways like project work, your unit tests maybe. In fact, we will be discussing how to make maximum use and get this full 20 marks also. We will be discussing that in a little bit. But for now, we're going to focus on the 80 mark paper that you have. Like I said, it's a one-time paper at the end of the year. And CBSE says that syllabus coverage is a reduced coverage. Now, I see over here, some people have said reduced syllabus. Some people have said it's not a reduced syllabus at all. So what is it? Is it reduced or not reduced? Again, my viewpoint of the whole thing, doesn't matter. If you take a look at it, okay, last year there were, because of Corona or before the pandemic, during the pandemic, sorry, there were much less chapters, right? But the term, so from that point of view, we would say that this is not a reduced syllabus. But if you take your seniors, before the pandemic started, they had to study 24, 25 chapters. And this time you have to deal with only 21 chapters. So in that sense, it is a reduced syllabus. So again, my advice to you is don't bother about whether it is reduced, whether it is not reduced. It really doesn't matter. If you're going to work hard and you're going to plan your studies right from the beginning of the academic year, like we have done for you, you do not need to fear. Never fear when BYJU'S is here, right? Okay, now let us go a little bit further and let us understand our course structure. Right? Anshul says during Corona they studied only 2 chapters in history, but Anshul, at that point in time so many people didn't even go to school. It was a very different situation. We can't compare what has happened before to what is happening now. There are always advantages and disadvantages of any system, so I'm saying make the best of whatever you have and let's go through it with a smile. All right, and we're together in this, so we will just totally ace it. Okay, now we've got 4 subjects, 4 units over here, covering all your 4 subjects. These are the textbook names that you have over here. I'm going to go through these with you. You've got 80 marks, as I said, in your annual examination, out of which your first unit is India and the Contemporary World 2. Now, what is this? This we know is our textbook for history. Now, why does it say 2? Well, because, you know, in the 9th standard, you had the 1 textbook, right? Now, how much do you get for your history section? Well, you get 20 marks. Then your next section is Contemporary India 2. Now, we know that this is geography, and this again is 20 marks. Then you have Democratic Politics 2, which is your civics section, again for 20 marks. And then you have Understanding Economic Development, which is your economics syllabus, again for 20 marks, and that makes a total of 80 marks. So as you can see, your marks are split pretty evenly across the 4 subjects. So this means that all 4 subjects are very, very important. So let's go ahead and understand what we have in these 4 subjects in this new academic year of ours. Yes, Anshul says history, geography, civics and economics. Yes. Hi Suzanne, she says she's new here. Welcome. You're going to have a lot of fun. I'm very excited to be with all of you over here. Curious Fellow says, I like economics. Well, I would say like all the subjects, yeah, if you start liking all the subjects, everything becomes very easy peasy. Let's go ahead and understand what we have in history. Now, in terms of Unit 1, in our history syllabus from India and the Contemporary World 2, we have 3 themes that we have to focus on. What are the themes over here? The themes over here are events and processes, livelihoods, economies and societies, and everyday life, culture and politics. Now, you've got a distribution of chapters under each of these themes. So let's go ahead and explore what are the chapters that come under these themes. Okay. Innovative 26 says, I like Eco and Geo more because you teach us. Well, I'm going to be teaching you history too, as well as civics. So start liking all. Okay. Okay, now total chapters are, somebody has asked over here, Muskan says total chapters. Total chapters, Muskan, are 21 chapters +1 for your project work, which we will talk about. So go ahead, focus and understand what is the division of the chapters under each of your units, right? Okay, now in terms of history, under our first theme, which is events and processes, we've got a very important chapter, chapter number 1, which is rise of nationalism in Europe. Very interesting chapter, very big chapter, very important chapter. This is a chapter that you definitely have to focus a lot on, and we will be doing this together also, right? What are the subtopics that we have under this? Well, we've got the French Revolution and the idea of a nation. We've got the making of nationalism in Europe. We've got the age of revolutions from 1830 to 1848. We've got the making of Germany and Italy, visualizing the nation, nationalism and imperialism. These are all the subtopics from this particular chapter. No deletions over here, okay? We have to study this chapter in detail, and really it is a very, very interesting chapter, okay? Very, very important. Let's move on to our next chapter under this theme, which is nationalism in India. Again, a very, very interesting chapter. In fact, every time I teach this chapter, I feel so patriotic. I did a session for y'all last year also on nationalism in India. So that's again something that you could refer to. We have done a really intensive session over there. I love this chapter, really. So again, this is a very important chapter, and it is quite a large chapter. What are the subtopics that we have under this? We have the First World War, then we have the Khilafat and the non-cooperation movement. We have differing strands within the movement. We have towards civil disobedience, and we have the sense of collective belonging. Now, the subtopics don't seem too much, but they are very large subtopics. So again, we will be covering all of all of this with you again this year, definitely. We're together, yeah. Big chapter, small chapter, easy chapter, difficult chapter, no problem. Everything is easy peasy when we are together. All right. Muskan says syllabus is too vast. Muskan, nothing is too vast if you plan your work properly, and that's what we're going to do together, right? The point of giving you the syllabus at the beginning of the year is so that we can plan accordingly what we want to do, and if you plan it well and you consistently study throughout the year, then nothing is too vast or too difficult, okay? Anshul says, I have completed project named as Consumer Awareness and got full internal marks. Excellent, Anshul. Okay. Let's move on to our next theme in history, which is livelihoods, economies and societies. And under this, we have chapter number 3, which is the making of a global world. What do you have under this? You have the pre-modern world, the 19th century, which is 1815 to 1914, the interwar economy, rebuilding a world economy, the post-war era. History is an intense syllabus, but also a really interesting syllabus. If you try to understand your history syllabus as a story and understand whatever happened as a story, it'll become much, much easier to study, right? And that's what we are here for. Next, we move on to the age of industrialization. What do we have under age of industrialization? Before the Industrial Revolution, hand labor and steam power, industrialization in the colonies, factories come up, the peculiarities of industrial growth and market for goods. So this is chapter number 4 in history, right? And with that, we move to the next chapter, our last chapter in history, which is under the theme of everyday life, culture and politics. What is the chapter that we have over here? Well, we have print culture and the modern world. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words. Print culture and the modern world. What do we have in this? First printed books. How interesting. Print comes to Europe, the print revolution and its impact, the reading mania, the 19th century, India and the world of print, religious reform and public debates, new forms of publication, print and censorship. Again, this is a very interesting chapter, and this is our 5th chapter. And with this, what is our count now? We've covered our entire history syllabus, which means 5 chapters from history. Right? Nibha says, ma'am, I found history difficult as I don't remember dates. Nibha, the dates you will have to memorize a little bit, but the main thing over here is that if you look at history as a story, like I said, you will start finding it very, very easy and very, very interesting also. right? Ma'am, I watch your videos on Premium app, but when will live stream start? Innovative 26. Live streams have already started. We are here for you. Because of that, we're giving you, we're starting your social science syllabus this year. This is the first step towards that. And if you're a premium student, I would suggest that keep going ahead. Go and watch the videos on the app. And for all of you who haven't downloaded the app, once again, go ahead and download the app, because the videos over there are bound to give you conceptual clarity and really help your understanding. And then apart from that, you attend the sessions over here, and then together you will be able to cement that knowledge, and then your exams just become a piece of cake, right? Okay, let's move on to our next unit, which is geography. What do we have in geography? Now, geography is a little different in the sense that the themes that you see over here are all chapter names. What was it in history? History, you had some themes, 3 themes, and then you had different chapters that came under those 3 themes, right? In geography, there are 7 themes, and each of these 7 themes is a separate chapter. So from here on, I'm going to be referring to them as chapters themselves. What are the chapters that we're going to be studying in this? Well, chapter number 1 is resources and development, forest and wildlife, water resources, agriculture, mineral and energy resources, manufacturing industries, and lifelines of the national economy. I have taken BYJU'S Premium for 2 years. Very good, Anshul, and you will see that it really helps you, right? Okay, Manasvi says, ma'am, I'm sorry I've joined late. Can you tell me which chapters are omitted or there for the project? Manasvi, unfortunately, I can't repeat whatever I've already done before. You can always go back and watch this video again. We finished the entire section, 5 chapters of history. In history, there were no deletions at all. We're now moving on to geography, and we're going to be discussing our first chapter over here, which is resources and development. Resources and development was a chapter that was done last year also, and we've done a lot of questions from this chapter. What do we have under this chapter? We've got the concept, we've got development of resources, resource planning in India, we've got conservation of resources, land utilization, land use pattern in India, land degradation and conservation methods, soil as a resource, classification of soil, soil erosion, and soil conservation. I know, it seems like a lot, and it probably seems a little overwhelming, but I'm telling you, when you plan your work properly and you start from the beginning of the year and we do it systematically, nothing is going to be too difficult. We will find it all very easy. Now, in this particular chapter, you do have an exclusion, a small part that is deleted, which is your box, which has information on state of India's environment, but it's a really small part. So for all practical purposes, you have this entire chapter. This is Navneet says not much. Very good, very good. So for practical purposes, you have this entire chapter, and this is a very important chapter, and again, a very interesting chapter, right? We will be taking sessions for you on this too, right? Okay, let's move on to our next chapter, Forests and Wildlife. Now, Forests and Wildlife was not there last year. We have it this year. What do we have under this? We have conservation of forests and wildlife in India, types and distribution of forests and wildlife resources, community and conservation. Interesting chapter, easy chapter. We will do everything together, like I said, right? Then, let's move on to our third chapter in geography, which is water resources. Water resources also, you've got the whole chapter, which is water scarcity and the need for water conservation and management, multi-purpose river projects and integrated water resources management, rainwater harvesting, right? Nibha saying, what is the need to exclude that box also? Nibha, yeah, I know, I can understand the feeling. It feels like so much. इतना तो दिया पढ़ाने को, और उसके लिए you've taken out one small teeny peeny box. What's the point? वो भी मत निकालो. That's what you're trying to say, right? Well, let's just count our blessings, yeah. They've removed a little bit, and there are other things which are deleted, which I'm going to come and I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you in the session. But my viewpoint always is, let's not focus on what we do not have to study. Let us focus instead on what we do have to study, and let's put our very best foot forward to do this, right? Okay, Ajay says, yes, that's the right way of looking at it. Ajay says, but boxes are difficult to learn, right? So, box is not there. That's the good thing over here, right? Let's move on to our next chapter, which is chapter 4, agriculture. In agriculture, we have types of farming, primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, commercial, cropping pattern, major crops, food crops other than grains, non-food crops, technological and institutional reforms, food security, and in this there is another deletion, small deletion, which is you're not going to be having the impact of globalization on agriculture. Right, so again, Nibha, you'll probably say, so much we have to study, just such a small exclusion. Let's count our blessings and let's focus on the fact that there are some deletions. So yes, in that sense, it is a slightly reduced syllabus, and we'll put our best foot forward to study what we have to. Right? Okay, let's move on to our next chapter in geography, chapter number 5, which is minerals and energy resources. Again, here in this chapter, you have everything, no exclusions. What is a mineral? Mode of occurrence of minerals. Where are these minerals found? Ferrous minerals, non-ferrous minerals, non-metallic minerals, rock minerals, conservation of minerals, energy resources, conventional sources of energy, non-conventional sources of energy, conservation of energy resources. Please, the point of me giving you this entire syllabus over here is not to scare you, to say, "Hi, kitna syllabus hai?" That's not the point. The point is, if we know what lies ahead of us, then we just do the right thing, and then when we do it systematically, by the end of it, you won't even feel like you've done, you know, that much. But this is if you study on time and you're regular throughout the year. If you're going to suddenly wake up during your, you know, the final annual exam and say, oh my God, I've not studied anything, now I have to study, then you're going to have a hard time. But that will not be the case. From our side, we're going to be giving you this preparation from the beginning of the year. Right? Okay, let's move on to chapter number 6 in geography. Manufacturing industries. Now, this is something that we had last year too. I did a session for you on this also. You can go through that session. You can attend the session this year also. Watch the session over here this year also. We will be, like I said, we're going to be planning everything out and doing it very nicely for you. Okay, what do we have over here? We have importance of manufacturing, industrial location. Now, in this, you do not have industry market linkage. Okay, so there are a few exclusions over here. Pay attention to what you don't have. Agro-based industries we have, but then we do not have cotton textiles, jute textiles, and sugar industries. So you see, there's quite a lot that has been removed from here. You have mineral-based industries, but you do not have iron and steel industries, cement industry. Then you have industrial pollution and environmental degradation, control of environmental degradation. Manasvi says it will be easy if we study regularly. Absolutely right. Okay. Bitan says, ma'am, will you make a strategy session for social science, like how to memorize all this, please, ma'am? Bitan, I will definitely put in the request, and we will do whatever we can to help you, my dear students. Okay. Then let's move on to chapter number 7. This is the last chapter in geography. We have lifelines of the national economy, and this we had even last year. Very easy chapter, very, very easy chapter. Nice chapter, interesting chapter. It has roadways, railways, pipelines, waterways, major seaports, airways, communication, international trade, tourism as a trade. And in fact, this is a chapter that uses a lot of common sense. It helps us to understand what is actually happening around us. It's a very interesting chapter. I like this chapter very, very much. Okay, and with that, we have completed our syllabus for geography. So where are we at? We had 5 chapters in history plus 7 chapters so far in geography. With that, let us move on to our next section, which is the civics section. Right? Now, under the civics section, what are the themes that we have to learn? What are the chapters that we have to learn? Because here again, the themes and the chapters, each theme is a particular chapter. We're going to be doing power sharing, federalism, gender, religion and caste, political parties, and outcomes of democracy. And I will be discussing what we have under each of these chapters also. Right? First chapter in civics. Well, we have this a this is again a very interesting chapter, and by the way, I've already done a session for you this year on this chapter. Let me tell you what we're going to be covering. We have Belgium and Sri Lanka, the case studies of Belgium and Sri Lanka, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, accommodation in Belgium, why power sharing is desirable in forms of power sharing. Right now, this is a very interesting chapter. I have already done this for you, so people who are not there for this session, we've done this session for you in April. Please go back and visit the session, and you'll find a lot of detail over there. So this first chapter is actually already done. Go watch the session and learn the concepts. Okay, now let's move on to our next chapter, which is federalism. Under federalism, what do we have? We have what is federalism, what makes India a federal country, how is federalism practiced, and we are going to be talking about decentralization in India again. It's a very interesting chapter, some very interesting concepts over here. This is chapter number 2. Let's move on to our third chapter, which is gender, religion and caste. As we can see, my red section over here is some deletions and exclusions. We will talk about them, but first let's focus on what we have to study. We have gender and politics, public or private division, women's political representation, religion, communalism and politics, politics communalism, secular state. Now, under this, there is a certain section which is deleted, which is you do not have the image on page 46, 48, 49 of NCERT textbook, which is Democratic Politics 2, the reprinted edition of 2021. So these particular images are not there, but the rest of it is there. So let's just study. See, I know, I'm laughing over here, okay, but what can we do when we've been given you know the saying that they say that when life gives you when life gives you lemons, what do you do with it? Well, you make lemonade. So I'm saying that we've been given a particular situation. Instead of going on saying, oh, it is too much, how will I study, forget about it. You've got certain chapters. Now we should move into solution mode. What is the best that we can do over here? Let's make lemonade, right? Okay, what else do we have? We have caste and politics, caste inequalities, caste in politics and politics in caste, right? Innovative 26 says, all chapters are fun learning to them, but when it comes to learn these, if they're fun learning, you will remember the concepts also. No, it's all about concept clarity. That's why I'm telling all of you, please download the BYJU'S app and along with that, attend our live sessions over here, and you will see how beautifully these complement each other. And I'm telling you, it will be easy peasy, right? Okay, now, chapter number 4 is political parties. Why do we need political parties? Meaning, functions and necessity of political parties. How many parties should we have? National parties, state parties, challenges to political parties, and how can parties be reformed? Very easy chapter, very interesting chapter. This chapter was there even last year. It's a nice chapter and we'll do it, all right? Next, let's move on to our next chapter, which is chapter number 5 actually, which is outcomes of democracy. What is this is wrong over here, it should say chapter theme 5. How do we assess democracy's outcomes? Accountable, responsible and legitimate government, economic growth and development, reduction of inequality and poverty, accommodation of social diversity, dignity and freedom of the citizens. And this again is a chapter that was there last year. You have it again this year. So how many chapters do you have? Well, actually there are a lot more chapters in civics, but the good news is that they are deleted. They are part of your deleted syllabus, which means you do not have democracy and diversity. You do not have power struggles and movements. You do not have challenges to democracy. 3 big chapters that have been removed. Isn't that good news? Let's focus on good news when we can, right? Okay, so what is our count so far? Our count so far is 5 chapters in history, 7 chapters in geography, 5 chapters in civics like we just discussed. Now we will move on to economics, right? Okay, now under economics, what are our chapters? We've got development, we've got sectors of the Indian economy, we've got money and credit, we've got globalization of the economy. You do have one chapter more, which is consumer rights, but this is for your project work. Right, so you will have to study this chapter for your project. You will have to do research on this chapter definitely. But for the theory exam, we are going to be focusing only on 4 chapters, which are the chapters over here. So let's talk about the first chapter that we have under economics. We have development. Now under this we have what development promises. Different people, different goals, income and other goals, national development, how to compare different countries or states, income and other criteria, public facilities, sustainability of development. So you have the entire chapter over here. This is chapter number 1 in economics. Alright, apart from this, chapter number 2, sectors of the Indian economy, very interesting chapter. We had this last year also. Sectors of the economy, sectors of economic activities, comparing the 3 sectors, which is the primary, secondary and the tertiary sectors in India, the division of sectors as organized and unorganized sectors, sectors in terms of ownership, public and private sectors. Very interesting chapter, was there last year. We're going to be repeating it again this year, and we will do everything together like I always say. Theme 3 or chapter 3 is money and credit, and this is actually one of my favorite chapters. I love this chapter. We've done a session for you on this even last year. It was there last year also. It's so interesting. It really teaches us more about money, I would say, and teaches us, you know, about how banks function, and it's really a really cool chapter. Now, under this we're going to be covering money as a medium of exchange, modern forms of money, loan activities of banks, 2 different credit situations, which is terms of credit, formal sector credit in India, formal sector of credit in India, and self-help groups for the poor, right? So this is again a very interesting chapter. This is chapter number 3. Chapter number 4, which is our last chapter for our theory sessions, is globalization and the Indian economy. Again, this is a chapter that you did have last year. Under this, we're going to be talking about production across countries, interlinking production across countries, foreign trade and integration of markets. What is globalization? Factors that have enabled globalization, World Trade Organization, impact of globalization in India, the struggle for a fair globalization. Now, this may seem like a lot, but actually the subtopics are really easy subtopics, and we're going to sail through it, yeah. So again, what is our count over here? We have 5 chapters history, 7 chapters geography. How many chapters in civics? 5 chapters in civics, and then we have 4 chapters in economics, making it 21 chapters for our theory exam. Ha 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 ha. We'll do it, yaar. We'll do it together. It's not a big deal, okay? Yes, it is. So Yashar says, Yashar! Hi, nice to see you again. Yes, this is a very, very interesting chapter. In fact, you've attended so many of our sessions last year also, so I'm sure you're already like half prepared for everything. Okay, yes, that was the idea, Innovative 26. The idea was to give you an evil laugh to say, ha 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 ha, hi 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 hi, humko kitna padna hai. Karenge? We'll study, not a problem, we'll do it together. Okay, now this was your 21 chapters for your theory. We also have 1 chapter for your project. Let's not forget about that. That is from economics. We have consumer rights, and this is to be used only for our project work. But listen, project work is very important, okay? Project work is part of your 20 marks, which is there for your internal examination. Internal examination of 20. I told you 80 marks is theory. 20 marks is internal. Now this 20 marks is further subdivided into other things which we are going to be discussing with you, okay? And out of this you have 1 section of this is your project, so please definitely go ahead and do some good research on this. And hey, in fact, talking about research, if you want to understand how to do research, We've done a very interesting session for you in our Level Up series. Aishwarya ma'am conducted this session on how to do research. The whole idea of doing these level up sessions was to basically give you, you know, a head start to the year. So use these research skills. If you haven't seen the session, please go check out the session, understand how to do research, and go ahead and start your research and do this chapter as a project and do a super duper project. Okay? All right. Now, let us talk about the 20 marks that I told you about. 80 marks we have already discussed, right? Now we are going to be talking about the 20 marks, which is our internal assessment. Now what are the subdivisions over here? Well, the subdivisions over here is, under this section we have periodic assessments, which is for 10 marks. We have portfolio, which has a weightage of 5 marks, and we have subject enrichment activity, which is 5 marks. Now you're probably saying, what is all this? Well, let me explain what is all this. So let's first talk about periodic assessments. Periodic assessments we know is a total of 10 marks. Under periodic assessments, you have got 2 sections of 5 marks. 5 marks is your pen paper test. So these are basically internal tests that could be conducted in your school. This could be your unit tests or internal exams or internal tests. However your school decides to do this. This is different for each school. But the point is over here, if you're studying through the year, you'll be able to do this really well, and these 5 marks will be chat-pat for you. Okay? Make sure that you get all of these 5 marks, definitely. Then apart from that, we've got, for 5 marks, we've got diverse methods of assessment. What does that mean? Well, diverse methods of assessment are, which means you're going to be, you're going to be observed, and they're going to see how you've participated throughout the year, how enthusiastic you've been in things like quizzes, debates, role play, viva discussions, group discussions, visual expression, peer assessment, self-assessment. Just go through all of this. Point is that if you are enthusiastic, if you're participating throughout the year and you're actively studying, you have a good rapport with your teacher, you're asking questions throughout the year, these 5 marks will also be easy peasy for you. So total of 10 marks for periodic assessments you can get like that. Next, we move on to our next part of our internal examination, which is portfolio. Portfolio is of 5 marks. What is the meaning of portfolio? What comes under this portfolio section? Well, here you have all the classwork that you have to do, that you will be doing. Do it regularly, do it well. This is the work done in class, the assignments that you've submitted, the homework that you've done, your own reflections, your journal keeping, your note keeping, all these things. Basically, it's your performance through the year, right? The teacher is well aware whether you've been studying throughout the year, whether you've been paying attention throughout the year, whether you've been asking questions throughout the year, whether you're maintaining your notes throughout the year. This is all of that, right? Also your achievements throughout the year, participation of the student in different activities like the Heritage Quiz, Heritage India Quiz. So basically, again, this is all about participation, right? 5 marks for portfolio. And then we have subject enrichment activity, which is your project work. I told you this is a thing that you will have to do. You will have to research and you will have to do the project on your own. But you can very easily get these marks if you are able to put forward a good project. So go ahead and do that. What are you waiting for, right? So every student must compulsorily undertake any one project on the following, and these are the topics over here. Right? Okay, Namrata says, when will social classes start on BYJU'S channel? Namrata, we have already started. I'm here today with you for that start and for what is coming up. Please stay tuned to the channel, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. You will get all your updates and notifications over here, right? Stay tuned, definitely. Muskan says, nah, Ansha, we will easily do it together. Yes, Muskan, that is the spirit. Okay, what is our question paper design? See, it looks like it's very complicated over here, but it's actually very simple. Right now here, what we're going to be talking about is what are the types of questions that you're going to get in your question paper, right? Is it going to be objective? Is it going to be subjective? Is it going to be analytical? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you over here. Your first type of question is remembering and understanding here so this section basically, if you actually go through what we've put down over here, is exhibiting memory of previously learned material, recalling facts, basic concepts, answers. So basically, if you understand it, this is your objective section, this is your fact-based questions, and this contains 28 marks out of your 80 marks, right? So objectives, in fact, these are the really easy scoring questions. If you understand the concept, you're able to understand, you know, give the facts properly, answer the questions properly. This is going to be a very, very easy section for you to attempt. Next, you have the application questions. This is where you will need to know the concept very thoroughly. If you know the concept and you understand the concept, then applying the concept becomes much, much easier. This is for 15 marks. Your next type of question is examining and breaking information into parts by identifying motives or causes. So this is again where you will need to know the concept very clearly. You will need to know what happened before the situation, what happened after the situation, how these different factors link together. So this is where you will be making a lot of inferences. Maybe you'll get a paragraph that you need to answer questions on, and you know, you'll have to understand direct questions, indirect questions, a lot of these kind of questions. So this is your third type of question. Now this is a very important section, because this, if you see, is 32 marks of your paper, right? And then we have the map work or map skills, which is 5 marks of the paper, and 28 plus 15 plus 32 plus 5 gives us 80 marks, right? So we have discussed now the entire syllabus. We've discussed what kind of questions that we are going to have. Now also, let me tell you what are the prescribed books by the NCERT, because these are the books that if you keep referring to and if you keep studying from, and apart from that you attend our sessions, you download our app, you're completely sorted. Let's go through the reading material. We have India and the Contemporary World 2, which is for history. It is published by NCERT. Then we have Contemporary India 2, which is geography, published by NCERT. I told you about these at the beginning of the session also. Democratic Politics 2, which is published by NCERT, which is your civics book. Understanding Economic Development, published by NCERT. And Towards a Safer India Part 3, which is a textbook on disaster management, published by CBSE. Please make a note of this reading material. Go through these all these books, and basically these books are going to be with you, and we're going to be studying stuff that is from it already. We're going to be guiding you through the process. So like I said, together, you and us, we will make it easy peasy. Right? Yashart says, ma'am, I'm taking art stream in 11th class. Please teach history, geography, political science. Ma'am, you are the best. Thank you, Yashart. We will be teaching all of this over here. Today's session is just a start. It's like a what do you say, a map to what is about to come in the year. Right? Manasvi says, will the session start from tomorrow? Because I'm excited. Manasvi, I'm very excited also. We will keep you posted as to when they are coming up. That's why I'm saying please stay tuned to our channel, right? Then, I'm now going to be talking to you about something else, which I have told you already at the beginning of the session today. Another thing that you should definitely do, which is going to help you a lot, is please enroll for the BYJU'S Mini Learning program. I told you at the beginning of the session, for all of you who were late and you missed me telling you about this, BYJU'S Mini Learning program is now absolutely free. Right now, this is a course that normally costs approximately 399 rupees, but if you put in your code, which is YT free, you will get this program absolutely free. The link for this is in your description box, and this is a great thing to attend. You have a lot of stuff that is actually going to help you in this economic, I'm saying, in this academic year, not economic year, in this academic year. And if you see, we have so many tools for you, right? We've got our sessions that we're going to be putting up over here. We've got the BYJU'S app, which you definitely should download. You should take the BYJU'S Mini Learning program, which is so very helpful. And basically together, we're just going to rock it, yeah. Definitely. Now, why should you attend the BYJU'S Mini Learning program? Well, there are lots of advantages to doing this. Two-teacher advantage, one-on-one guidance from personal mentor, live interactive classes, which y'all love, after-class assignments and scheduled classes as per your convenience. So this is very, very helpful. Just go check it out, yaar. Like I said, we've got lots of, but the seats are filling up pretty quickly. It is a limited time offer. We've already got a lot of enrollments. So people are, already subscribing and are really liking it. So I would suggest, please take advantage while this offer is there. Join when you can. This is a great time to do this because BYJU'S is always with you. We've got you covered. Like we had you covered last year from the beginning to the end, this year we are going to do the same. We will never leave our students. We're so happy to be here with you. We love the participation and the love that you keep giving us, right? Continue to do the same and like, share and subscribe to our channel. We would love to see more participation from you, right? Kirti says, ma'am, will there be live social classes in the premium app? Kirti, I would say go check it out. There are a lot of videos over there. There are a lot of assessments that you can take. There are a lot of different kind of tools that that you can sort of experience. There are learn journeys that you will be covering. There are exciting badges that you can win. And basically, it's a great, great learning tool. Right? And interactive live classes you have on the BYJU'S mini program that I've just told you about. And apart from that, we've got social science sessions coming up for you very, very soon. So stay tuned. Bye-bye.